Today's session is going to be very interesting because what we're gonna learn today is filtering data in Pandas, and filtering is some of the techniques which are very frequently used in data manipulation, data analysis, or whatever you want to do with the data, right? That's a very common thing which cannot anyone avoid when they are working on the data analysis. So in today's video we're gonna learn how to filter the data using logical operators, how to filter the data using multiple logical operators, and using IsIn, how you're gonna filter the data using either of these three methods. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, and to understand the concept very clearly, please watch the video till the end. Once you are done with watching the video, do not forget to like, comment, subscribe and hit the bell icon. So first thing which we're gonna learn today is using logical operator to filter the data. How are we gonna use that? So this is the syntax which you will be trying over there. So this DF stands for data frame. Yes, you are right. And this is a square bracket which we have to start. Again, you're gonna give the data frame name followed by the dot. Alright, and then you need to put the column name in which you want to find the value or basis on which you want to filter the data. Alright, and then you're gonna use logical operator, and then you're gonna provide the values. What are the logical operators that we can use over here? These are these. You can use equals to sign. Yes, in Pandas, when you want to say equals to, then you have to provide 2 equals to symbol. If you provide 1, then that becomes assignment operator. Here it is greater than, this one is less than or equals to, and this is called as greater than or equals to, and this one is quite interesting. Tell me what is it. Take a pause and put in the comment section what is this. Alright, so if you don't get it, then let me tell you, it's not equals to. This is called not equals to. Alright, so this was the syntax. Now let's jump to the Python IDE and try to understand it practically. What does this DF means? What is column name? What is logical operator, etc. So I'm going to take you to the Python IDE and explain these things practically. Alright, so here we have our Pandas data frame, which is this. Let's see how many columns and what is the shape of this data set. Alright, so here I am going to check the shape of this data set, which is 91 rows and 4 columns. Look at this, look at this. Okay, so I have to filter the data wherever country is UK. So in this, out of 91 records, I want to have only those records where country column has UK values. So let me take you back to the board and try to relate this with the syntax. Here column name will be country, logical operator will be this one equals to, and the value will be UK. Let's try that. So here I just gonna say data frame name is cast, and then I will start the square bracket. Let me zoom it a little bit so that it could be easy for you. Then again dataset name, and then the column name, which is country, and what we want to find is country. What country we want to filter? That is UK. It should be equals to UK. So I am going to use equals to operator over there, and let's run this. Bravo. Now we have only these many records which has country equals to UK. Now let's try another example. Here I want to filter only those records where transaction amount is less than 500. So what we're gonna put is very simple, the same syntax, data frame name and we're gonna just change the column name, and these are the things which going to be changed. So I want to filter only those records where transaction amount is less than 500. All right, so let's see that. Oops, I just made a mistake. Now let's run this. Bravo. So here we have all the records where transaction amount is less than 500. Okay, now let me just make it little bit more complicated. I'm gonna say the transaction amount should be less than or equals to 300. All right, let's run this. So here we go. These are the records where we have transaction amount either less than or equals to 300. Now let me try another thing, greater than or equals to. So if you notice here, we are giving two conditions, either greater than or equals to, and here I'm gonna say 800. Either the transaction amount should be greater than or equals to 800. Now here you have the data. Well, so you learned enough how can you use single variable with logical operator to filter the data. Now I have one exercise for you. Here we go. Here you have the exercise, and I want you to use the same data frame to filter the values where country is not equals to UK. You're gonna filter out all those data sets, all those records. So to get this data, I have given the link in description. Follow the link, download the data and import that in your Python and try to use this example. Let me show you how did I imported that value in. So here you have the syntax. You can just see this video and type this syntax. All right, so wherever you have saved your data, you just need to download this file from the given GitHub link and put that in any of the location in your system and use this kind of syntax to import that. All right, so this is how you can import the data frame and you can complete this exercise. You can complete this exercise. Now let's see what next we want to learn over here. Here, using multiple logic operators. All right, so what is that? Here we will be using two columns separately. Let's say you want to select only those records where country equals to UK and transaction amount is less than 300. So how you gonna do that? For that you have to use this operator as well, and this is called AND. This will add the two logics together and will help you in filtering the data. Now let's go to the Python IDE and try to understand this practically. All right, so here we have cost, which is the data frame name, again data frame name, and this time we need country, and that country should be equals to UK. Now I know what you must be thinking. You must be thinking that I forgot this operator. So I didn't forget that, I was just keeping it for you. All right, now this was the first condition. What's the second condition? The second condition I want to say is this transaction amount should be less than and equals to 300. Let's put that. I will just make a small modification and then I will run this. Boom. Let's see how many records do we have. Wow, we have just one record where the country equals to UK and transaction amount is less than 300. Let's have a look over here, just one record. Now here you have all the columns selected. For example, I only want to see two columns, which is contact name and transaction amount. What are you gonna do for that? For that, nothing much, just select these two variables, come over here and create list of lists. Just put it here, but you need to do one thing over here. you need to make a proper list of it, like this, and this. All right, so what I did, I just created a list of list and I put the column name in single quotation. You can also use the double quotation separated by a comma. Now let's run this. Here we go. Now you have only 2 columns selected. Let's try to modify the logic and try to make it greater than 800, but the country should remain same, UK. All right, now let's run that. Boom, you see it says empty data frame. That means we don't have any record in this particular data frame where country equals to UK and transaction amount is greater than or equals to 800. All right, so this is how you can use this operator to apply multiple logical operators in filtering the data. All right, now if you are using log, if you have not learned about log and ilog, I recommend you to watch the video for which link is mentioned in the description, and that is showing right here. So just click the link and check that out. So what we're gonna do for that, if we want to use this inside this thing, so here I just need to put the list of columns which you want to filter. All right, and then run this. So I didn't do much, it does not create a big difference. It's just instead of putting that outside of this bracket, I put that inside the bracket, but to do that you have to use log. So the moral of the story is you can use log also when you are using these conditional operators to filter the data. All right, so this is how you can use multiple filter over here. Now this was to combine 2 conditions. What if you want to say either the country should be UK or the amount should be equals to 800? You want to have both of those kind of records. All right, so let's try and see what is the thing which we can use in place of this operator. So here we have next syntax where it says either this logic should be true or this logic should be true. Means either country should be equals to UK or the transaction amount should be equals to 800. So wherever transaction amount is equals to 800, not necessarily the country will be UK, and wherever country equals to UK, not necessarily the transaction amount will be equals to 800. Means you are saying either of these conditions must be true. If that's true, give me the result. Now the question comes in, what do we read this? I mean, how does it works? This is pipe, which is just below the backspace key on your keyboard. If you want to type this, you're gonna use shift plus that button, and this is called OR. Okay, so now let's go to the Python IDE and try to understand that. Okay, so I am going to use another example, say cust, and then again dataset name cust, and what is the variable I want to use? That's country, and in the country I want to say either country should be equals to UK. All right, and then you're right, we have to enclose this in a parenthesis operator, and then the pipe, again parenthesis operator, and inside that we're gonna say it's a city. Let's modify it slightly. So this time I am going to say the city should be okay. So city and this cannot be different. We will always have both of these two things same, because whatever city we provide, that will always fall in this UK. Okay, so I am going to change this with transaction amount. Right, so I am going to say transaction amount should be greater than, or let's say equals to 800. All right, Now let's try to filter this kind of data out. Now if you notice over here country is UK, but the transaction amount is not equals to 800. So why is that in the result? Because it is satisfying to one condition where country is UK. Now look at this, transaction amount is 800 but country is not UK. Then why is that in our result? Because it is satisfying the condition over here. Alright, so this is how it is working. Now if you look all of these entries here, the transaction amount is not equals to 800, but still that's in the result because the condition satisfies over here. So either of the conditions should be true, and this is not the only it's not that you can use only two variables. You can use as many variables as you want to put the logical operator, to use the logical operators. It's just you're gonna use either this or this. Okay, now I would encourage you to use this and practice and put your doubt in the comment section. I'll definitely try to get back to you. Now again, I have a exercise for you over here as well. Now again, you are requested to filter out the data wherever transaction amount is between 500 to 800. Yeah, that's right. Here you're gonna use your mind and you're gonna figure out how you can filter the data using these two examples, by learning from these two examples. And the condition should be transaction amount is either greater than or equals to 500 or less than equals to 800. All right, so this is going to be your exercise. Just give it a try, pause the video and give it a try, and then continue with the video. All right, the next lesson which we're gonna learn over here is IsIn. Probably if you have worked in SQL or any of these data analytical tool, you always put the condition where, let's say, customer's name in this means you are providing a list of customer names and you want to filter the data. So that's what we're gonna do over here using IsIn operator. Let's have a look at its syntax, how we're gonna write the syntax. So syntax will go like this, same as we have been doing in the previous examples. Data frame name, your column name, and then with the column name again you're gonna say IsIn. And when you say IsIn, this is a function, so you need to start the parenthesis operator, and in the parenthesis operator, in the square bracket, you're gonna put list of all the values which you want to filter. Now let's see an example of it. For this simplicity, I am just going to remove this from here. So what we're gonna do is, here we have our data frame. Let's have a look at the data frame. Boom. So here we have the data frame, and we're gonna filter out all the records where city is this. You can pronounce it howsoever you want, or this, or this. These three items we will use to filter the data wherever city is this. Now let's see how we can do that. For that, let me first comment it out so that it does not gives you the error whenever you are trying to make the syntax. Cast, start the square bracket, again cast, then the variable name is city, and then we're gonna say IsIn. All right, and then start the parenthesis operator. In this square bracket, you're gonna put the values. If you want to use just one value, there is no use of using the IsIn, but still let's see an example of it. Here we have just one entry with this city name. Now I want to use multiple city name to filter the data, so we gonna put all those city names separated by comma in single quote or in double quotes. and let's select this. Let me expand this quickly and select this and come over here, run the selection. Bravo. Now here we have only those records where city is matches to the given value. Alright, so here you might have noticed one thing. This does not, okay, so we have duplicate value. That's my bad, and I am just going to change it. Now we have the correct result. We have 3 type of cities over here. Alright, so this is how you can use IsIn to filter the data. Remember, if you want to apply this thing on multiple variables, I mean if you want to say IsIn on multiple variables, you can use either and, ampersand, or pipe, which we just learned in the previous example, and you can do that as well over here. And if you want to select some specific kind of variables, don't forget to put a list of them over here. Alright, so this was one way of using IsIn. What if this looks very complicated, right? If you find it to be very complicated, there is one simpler way. What you can do is you can just create a list over here. Let's create a variable. Okay, let me say cities. Okay, and then I will just put all of these values over there, cut it from here, and I'm just going to put it here, and in this I will just say list. That's it. Now let's run this. This gives me some typo error. Let's investigate what's the typo error. Okay, it's I chose the different value over there. That's my bad. I mean, you can say it is becoming repetitive, but I sorry for that. And here we have the correct result. Now if we can see over here, so here we have the correct result. So again, if you want to keep some specific variable, put those variable names over here only. For example, I only want to see city. Here we have only city. For example, I want to see country as well. Okay, let's see country. So here we have 2 columns. If you want to do this thing on multiple variables, just you can use ampersand operator and you can put the another condition, and before that you need to put this condition in the parenthesis operator, and right in here you can put another condition. Alright, so this is how you can use this particular operator extensively. I again encourage you, pause the video, use this in your own way, make the questions and write as much as possible, then only you will learn the things. Here also we have an exercise for you. Exercise is filter the values where city is these 3: Resende, London, or Oulu. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but you can pronounce it your way. Just pause the video and do the thing, and put your syntax in the comment box, and let's get the feedback. Alright, by now you would have done that. So next video is going to be about how we're gonna filter the data in next condition. That's gonna be we will see how we can filter the data which starts with a particular letter. For example, your data set have a variable customer's name, and you want to filter only those customers whose name starts with L or maybe S or maybe T. You want to filter only those customers. How can you do that? You can use starts with technique that we will learn in next video. Next we can see how to filter the data where a particular variable contains particular value. For example, you have a customer name variable where it says John Fernando Terrace or something like that, and you want to filter all those customers where customer name contains Fernando. Alright, so that you can do, and you can also try it in negative way where something does not starts with, something does not contain. We will also see how to filter the data where it ends with something. Alright, so that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching the video, and thank you very much for having the patience. I really appreciate it, and let's catch up in the next video to learn all of these things. Happy learning. Till then, enjoy, be safe.